Hello everyone, once again I am a man with a very nice hat, and this time we're going to cover a very old and deep-rooted thing that's in our media. Some could even say that it's woven into the very fabric of our society, and that thing is violence. As I've said before, violence is by no means a new thing in media. In fact, it rests right in the beginning of media itself. Sure, the Son of God taught us to love everyone in the Bible, but God himself did some terrible things to people. The 7 curses of Ramses, the trials of Job, and that's just in Christianity. Violence goes back to cave drawings in Mesopotamia. The difference between then and now is that it's Jason Statham and Vin Diesel that are dishing out the divine punishment instead of God. All the time now, it seems television is breaking new ground in the field of violence. I mean, we have a show where the main protagonist was a serial killer. By his own admission, he was a serial killer. And that show got 7 seasons. That's not even the only one. In American media, we seem to be undergoing a change in our fictional television. Instead of the public flocking to the hero who always does what's right, the stand-up type of guy, as we have before, we now seem to favor darker characters to relate with. A good example of this is that in the last several decades, Batman's popularity has eclipsed and then passed the popularity of Superman. The dark vigilante, with his own brand of justice, has passed the symbol of truth and justice. The average child nowadays sees about 15,000 murders on television by the time he's 18. Numerous studies have suggested that overexposure to violent television can cause a child to act more aggressively as an adult. But the question is, do these shows add violence for public interest, or do they reflect the violence already present in society? More likely, it's the former. If you've seen Indiana Jones survive that nuclear blast in his fridge, you already know Hollywood kind of lives in its own reality. Simply put, violence is interesting, and people like interesting things, so that's what they'll watch. So, does this mean we should throw a brick through our plasma screens and cancel our Netflix subscriptions to save society from falling into anarchy from the threat of television? Some might say yes, but I don't. Studies have shown that TV violence really only affects kids. So I'd say as long as you keep Junior from seeing Dirty Harry, he and society will be just fine. And even if... Well, that about covers things for this time. Thank you all for joining me on this little project of mine. I wish you all the best of luck. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go watch some Game of Thrones.